So this is a chapter, the title is The Battle Between Lord Bodh and Vrindavan. So in this particular verse, the Lord, the Bodh incarnation, the personality of Godhead is speaking to Vrindavan. We are creatures of the jungle and we are searching after hunting dogs like you. One who is freed from the entanglement of death has no fear from the loose talk in which you are indulging. So broadly speaking, there are demons or people with atheistic mentality, and there are devotees. Generally, when we talk about demons, we get a picture that demons mean some horns, some teeth protruding out, dark faced, typically what we see in some serials. But understanding what we get from Bhagavatam, demons are those living entities with demoniac temperament or consciousness. Somebody could be very, very good looking. Somebody could be very, very polite. Somebody could be very, very gentle and have a demoniac temperament, demoniac consciousness. So it is at times very difficult to judge just by the looks. That's why Arjuna also asked Krishna, what is the consciousness? What are the symptoms of a person who is transcendentally situated? What are his lakshan? What are his characteristics? So that we can identify how he speaks, how he walks, how he talks, what is his thinking, what is his feeling, what are his actions. So here it is said, have no fear from the loose talk. One of the symptoms of demoniac is loose talk. In Shastra it's also called Vijalpa. A Krishna conscious person will not waste time in loose talk. Another symptom of a demon and a Krishna conscious person or a devotee is that he tries in every situation, he tries to bring in Krishna, bring in God. That's why he's a Krishna conscious. His consciousness is filled with Krishna. Whereas an atheist or a demon, even if there is an opportunity to think of Krishna, they will minus Krishna, minus God from the equation. For example, in this creation, we have wonderful, the sun is rising, so much of orderness is there. But demoniac mentality, people will say it is all material nature. They will minus God from the equation. I'll share one very nice example of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was in Los Angeles, and those days it was raining. And we know that Prabhupada would go for a morning walk with his senior disciples. So for a few days Prabhupada had not gone because it was raining very heavily in Los Angeles. So one day the sun was there, the rain had subsided, it was quite shiny, quite sunny. So Prabhupada stepped out of his place where he was staying for a walk. And the devotee who was in charge of cleaning his quarters, his room, he started the cleaning. And because Prabhupada had not gone out for many days, So he wanted to take this opportunity to Mahakleya. Little more elaborately. So he was busy that knowing that Prabhupada would come after 45 minutes, 1 hour. It had stopped raining after a long time, it was quite sunny. So Prabhupada would go for a long walk, come after 1 hour. So he has enough time to clean the room. And suddenly in 10 minutes he saw Prabhupada coming back. He had all, kept the sofa aside, kept the chairs aside. The room was not in order and he saw Prabhupada coming up. So this devotee asked Prabhupada, today it is very sunny, I thought probably you will go for a long walk. You will come after a long time. In the meantime, I can clean your room. Now let us all try to understand, think, what could have Prabhupada replied? If we are in that situation, what would we reply and what Prabhupada would have replied? Anyone? So Prabhupada looked at him. He says, wherever there is Krishna, there is light. And wherever there is no Krishna, there is darkness. Looks at him and then walks to his side. In other words, if you see from the words of an Acharya, and if you notice in his conversations, in his lectures, all his things, everywhere the word Krishna, 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 Krishna. If some of us were there in that situation, we'll talk about something, sunshine, humidity is more today. We'll talk about some material. These days it's very rainy, it's quite dully. We will talk some. And Prabhupada, because he was Krishna conscious, pure devotee of the Lord, every situation, whether he's talking to an atheist, whether he's talking to outsider, a devotee, a Nobel laureate, a student, he would be Krishna. That is the action of a devotee. Avyartha kalatvam does not want to waste even a moment without thinking, talking about Krishna. We should also know this is the goal. This is the goal. This is where we have to go. This is where, just like here it is said, freedom from the laws of birth and death. If we have to get freed, this is where we have to head. And unless we are always having Krishna in our consciousness, we will not be able to think of Krishna at the point of death. Prabhupada also says the real test will come at the point of death. Otherwise, we can put up a show. But the real test will come at the point of death. We will be able to think of Krishna only if we have cultivated Krishna consciousness. Always thinking of Krishna, always keeping Krishna at the forefront of our consciousness, in our discussions, in our talks, in our dealings. Madhupati Prabhu in Soulful Japa, he says, we can chant as a process. We can chant very mechanically. We can chant because at the time of initiation we have taken a vow, we chant 16 vows. But chanting, we can chant, he says, one very fundamental, basic bhavana should be there, that chanting, we are trying to please Krishna. Why am I chanting attentively? Why I am trying to chant attentively? Not because if I chant attentively, I will have clear consciousness. I'll get peace of mind. Sometimes that is the motive. I'll feel good. I'm chanting attentively to please the Lord who is there on my tongue, who has descended so mercifully on my tongue. what is our consciousness, what is our motive, what is the intent behind our action, why we are doing what we are doing. So, Lakshan, there was once a school teacher, he was giving a demonstration to students. So he took an orange in the hand and squeezed it. And said, if I squeeze the orange, what will come out of this orange? What is the answer? Mango juice. So all the students said, orange juice. So teacher again asked the question, why? Why orange juice will come? So again the students looked, what is happening to the teacher? Orange, what will come out? Orange juice. Again he said, why orange juice will come out? Because that is what inside orange. That is what is there inside orange. So likewise, what is inside us, what is in our consciousness will come out. What is inside us, what is inside our consciousness, what is inside our thinking, feeling will come out in our living, in our actions. So demons, just like Hiranyaksha here, when opportunity comes, when they are questioned, then here it said, no fear from the loose talk in which you are indulging. They indulge loose talk because that's what inside is there. All the crap, all the dirt, all the ignorance, all the rebellious nature that comes out. So I many times repeat this. Krishna consciousness, yes, externals do matter, but it's an inside game. Inside game means, are we, and life will throw up many situations, circumstances in which we'll get an idea where we are standing. What is inside us? Are we Maya conscious? Are we Krishna conscious? Only if we are cultivating genuinely Krishna consciousness, depending on Krishna, thinking of Krishna, praying to Krishna, revealing our mind to Krishna, seeking direction from Krishna. And if our consciousness is filled with Krishna, then there is a chance that at the point of death, we'll be able to think of Krishna. And that's when we get freed from this cycle of birth and death. Once there was an American devotee, very tall, heavily built, big body. He had come to Mayapur and he was staying in the guest house building. He was a brahmachari dress, saffron dress. And he was staying in that guest house building and daily he would just chant and read and not do any service in seva. Since his father was rich, he was from America, he had also taken life membership. Here, some of you may not be aware, life membership was there even now, many temples where you become a life member, you are entitled to stay in the guest house for a few days, free of charge as members. So he had taken membership. So one day, the temple commanders and all the devotees, they started questioning him. You are staying for so long, so many days, you are not doing any seva, simply eating, you are simply reading. If you are going to stay here, then you have to do some seva. You cannot be just staying, just doing nothing, just chanting and... So there was an altercation, fight between them. He says, no, you cannot stay any longer. Get out. and there was a commotion that this devotee started, no, I'm a member, I'm a life member, how can you ask me to stay? So there was a big argument, and Prabhupada was there in his room, and from his window he saw that this fight happening between these devotees. And they were saying, no, you should get out, your time is up. So many days you have already stayed. So when it reached Prabhupada, again Krishna conscious, what did Prabhupada say? That's why it is important that when we read Prabhupada books, or hear his conversations, or read his lectures, or talks, it's an opportunity to associate with Prabhupada's consciousness. Consciousness is contagious. If we associate with demoniac person, our consciousness will get impacted. Sanga sanjayate kama. So, what did Prabhupada say? So Prabhupada said, if a person, especially in a dham like Mayapur, wants to come and chant and read the whole day, it's okay, even if it does not do business. Provided he chants, reads. Not that he is simply sitting and easy-going life, sleeping all day, especially in the dham. So if he is reading, chanting, let him be allowed. Then he said, the second thing he said, life membership program is for uninitiated devotees. And he said that just because you have paid money and it is your, now you deserve some facilities, free stay, this thing and all that. That is not good consciousness. That is material consciousness. I have paid this, so I should get this. Okay, I deserve it. This is my right. Then Prabhupada, third thing Prabhupada said, that real life membership is when you give your life, your money, your intelligence, everything to your Guru and become his menial servant. And the Prabhupada said that is real life membership. So, while we are here, we should know why we are here. And whatever we are blessed with, our intelligence, our life, our abilities, our talents, our skills, we should know it is coming from the Lord and it has to be used for the Lord. We have to surrender. Surrender is not just change of dress. Surrender means surrender whatever we have. With the understanding, with the consciousness, it is not mine, nirmama. It is Lord's. He is the true enjoyer. It belongs to Him. It is meant for Him. And hence I utilize it in His service. That is Krishna consciousness. As I said, life will throw up many things where we can see. Suppose some seva is assigned to us. How do we deal with it? What is our thinking? Are we taking it as a burden? Or we have certain natural thing, no, I don't like this. Prabhupada and Krishna are watching everything they are watching. We cannot, just like they say in this world, many times you can pass the exam, you can fake, you can copy something, you can figure out a shortcut, you can cheat the system. These days, you have question answers available, mock-up question answers. So there are experts who have figured out what kind of questions come. And then last 5 years questions, all in answer. Just read that. Good probability you may get similar question and you can crack the exam. But you cannot cheat your way back to God. There is no shortcut. We have to become a menial servant. We have to serve, surrender our intelligence, surrender everything what we have. In the consciousness is not mine. And then Prabhupada, Krishna are pleased with us. They will bless us. They will bless us with the right consciousness. Just like in this world, we see rich people becoming richer, poor becoming more poorer. The upward spiral and downward spiral. Even in our consciousness, game of consciousness, Krishna consciousness, there can be upward spiral and there can be downward spiral. Upward spiral is you are in good consciousness. You are in good consciousness, therefore you offer your nicely situated, do nice seva with nice consciousness. As a result, you get blessings of the Lord. Because you get blessings of the Lord, it helps you in purifying your consciousness. You become more Krishna conscious. And because you are more Krishna conscious, you are more surrendered, more dependent on Krishna. And rich becomes richer. The reverse also is true. Poor becomes poorer. Already he is poor, suddenly one heart attack came, went to the hospital. 60,000 rupees bill came. Now he has to beg money from someone. Already he was poor, barely able to manage his hands. Now 60,000, another additional loan. So already consciousness is down. Already we are grumbling. Already we are not properly situated. Cribbing, fault finding, loose talk, reluctant to do assigned services. As a result, we displease the Guru, displease the devotees, displease the Lord. We don't get their mercy, and as a result, we go down further in our consciousness. So this spiritual life is a very, we have to be simple and we have to be obedient. We have to follow. Unfortunately, in this world, Prabhupada also says, just like Jivera Swarupa Hoye Nityera Krishna Das, we are servants of Krishna. If you don't choose to serve Krishna, you'll be forced to serve Maya. Of state. Suppose a traffic law is there. Suppose somebody decides, no, I will not, I don't care. Red light, I will not stop. Then you'll be penalized, you'll be, and if the violation is very big, you may even be taken behind the bars. Again, what is behind bar? Criminal laws. Either civil laws, criminal laws, either case the laws are applicable. So likewise, we have to serve Krishna. If we don't serve Krishna, we will be forced to serve Maya. Sometimes we can get into a mentality of comfort zone, kya pada hai? Why I should take the thing? Why I should bother? I'll do what is easy and simple. I'll do, in other words, what is pleasing to my mind, pleasing to my body. No doubt, we have to factor in because we are in this body. We are not, but constant assessment should happen. What is my thinking? What is my feeling? What is my consciousness? And as I said, it will all manifest in our interactions, in our actions. There was one devotee who came to Prabhupada in Mayapur. and he wanted to go to Radhakund to do Ekant Bhajan. So Prabhupada asked him, why you want to go to? You are already in Mayapur. He says, no, so many devotees are there, so much of noise is there and all that. I want to go to this. So Prabhupada came across all kind of devotees. Initial days, many of them background of hippies and all that. So all had different weird ideas of spiritual life. So this devotee came, I want to go to Radhakund. So Prabhupada said, again you climbed on top of a tree and you wanted to do this. So there was a devotee who made a small kind of a hut on top of a tree because he didn't want to get disturbed by anybody. But he had to come down. So now he wanted to go to Radhakund. So in our minds also different kinds of crazy thoughts can come. Now let's see what Prabhupada told him. Prabhupada told him, the problem is that your mind is restless. Just like you go to a physician, quickly you can diagnose what's the problem. Many times we may find problems with this, with that, with this. We don't find problems with our own mind, with our own consciousness. So Prabhupada said the problem is that your mind is restless. Even if you go to Radhakund, you will not be able to do Ekant Bhajan. Because what is going with you is restless mind. He says Ekant, what is it? Nirjana Bhajana is meant for devotees like Haridas Thakur. Then Prabhupada gave an example that he was sitting and chanting in a cave. In that cave there was a snake. And he was not perturbed. He continued his chanting. He was not disturbed. If we get disturbed by small things, somebody is making some sound, somebody is, they are talking loudly and all that. What tolerance we have? So then Prabhupada said that Nirjana Bhajana is not meant for you in this present state. So it seems after that meeting, Prabhupada asked another devotee, what happened to that devotee? What did he finally decide? Prabhupada used to instruct knowing that some will follow, some will not follow. Because all kinds of devotees are there. Some will follow what he is saying, some will not follow. Some they don't have ability to follow. Sometimes you give good advice also, people may not be able to take it. So Prabhupada also at times, he asked him, what happened to that devotee? So then he was told that he decided to go back to Africa and preach. So Prabhupada was very happy. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote a book. Kishira Vaishnava. What kind of Vaishnava are you? You want to do solitary bhajana, sitting in a lonely place. So that's why I'm saying spiritual life means we all have some ideas of spirituality. When we came to spirituality, generally in Indian context we have in lonely place, sitting in silence, mauna. What Krishna is talking about in the Gita and Prabhupada giving as it is this. Real spiritual life is manmana, think of me, bhavaman bhakto, become my devotee, worship me, surrender unto me. And it need not be always peaceful. That's what Arjuna in the first chapter says, better let me go and beg. Why fight this nasty war? Again, spirituality, sometimes we have understanding that it should be all peaceful, it should be all very shanti, no trouble, no distractions, no disturbance. So that's why we should be very, very obedient, should be simple, should follow whatever is being asked, we obey. So it's a fact that in this present time, whatever is being, what Prabhupada has given as a morning program, it's very nice, very thoughtfully Prabhupada has given us this. We attend. bhagavatam class. One time I think I've shared with all of you. So I used to find difficult to find time for reading. Services was very high. So I made a plan. Monday, I'll miss Mangalarti, 15 minutes. That time I'll read. Tuesday, I'll miss Darshanarti, and that time I'll read. Wednesday, I'll miss Guru Puja, and that time I'll read. So every day, so that it's not that every day you're missing Guru Puja, or every day you're missing Bhagavatam class, every day. So all Angas, very systematically you miss. Mind can come with crazy thoughts. So I made a full plan, weekly plan, what to miss when. Many years ago. So Madhuban too noted. So one day he called me in his office. And every day it's like, what is happening? So then I shared the plan. He values yourself. So you have to be watchful. Mind will come up with different ideas. They will not be bona fide. They will not be good for us. It may be very, logically it is making sense. What are you doing? Reading. Spiritual activity. Prabhupada said, read my books. But what are you doing? Missing some important. You're using your intelligence. So that's why it's good if we are simple. Follow what is being told. And then the simple follow, and definitely Prabhupada has given us a process. We will be Krishna conscious. Our consciousness will get, if the morning program is good, if we're doing the reading, if we are following what Prabhupada has told, definitely Krishna will be in our consciousness. And that will manifest in our actions, in our behavior, in our talks, in our discussions, in our interactions. When we are living in a community, there will be different instances, different opportunities where every time we have to just ask, what will be pleasing to Krishna? What will be pleasing? Sometimes there could be misunderstanding, there could be fight, there could be altercations. There could be quarrel, there could be conflict. Ego can get hurt. Somebody can pass a sarcastic remark. Krishna consciousness means in this situation, what will be pleasing to Prabhupada and Krishna? What should I do which will please Prabhupada and Krishna? If pleasing Prabhupada and Krishna is asking forgiveness, even if I don't feel like asking for it, I'll ask for it. So here in this particular verse, we have demons, demoniac mentality. Prabhupada says they are strictly bound by the laws of nature and they will never get freedom from the cycle of birth and death. And the another section is the devotees who are trying to be Krishna conscious and always thinking of Krishna, and such devotees will eventually get freedom from the cycle of birth. I'll stop here. Anyone has any question, anything you'd like to ask based on what we discussed? Anyone has any question?
Krishna. At some places, Prabhupada also says that you have to use your intelligence to say, and like you mentioned in the lecture that we have to say intelligence. How about this?
Yeah. So Krishna consciousness is also called Buddhi Yoga. It is not that we blindly follow everything. Intelligence has a place. Prabhupada very nicely in one place in a Purport explains what is the meaning of independently thoughtful. It's very nice that if we read that. Generally when we come across this word independently thoughtful, we get this thing that we should be independent. We We should independently use our intelligence. So please find time. You can check on Vedabase. There's a whole nice purport on independently thoughtful. The superficial understanding what we get, independent thought, we should be independent. If suppose somebody asks us to do something, no. I should independently think whether it is good or bad. I should independently think. I should not surrender my intelligence. No. That's not the right understanding. This also does not mean that we blindly follow. Everything we have to blindly follow. No, that also is not. It's Buddhi Yoga. We have to use intelligence, but in a framework. What is a framework? We get to understand from Prabhupada's teachings. Immediately the framework, it's the entire teaching, whatever body of Prabhupada's teaching is all about that framework in which we have to use our intelligence. Suppose some service is assigned, we can use our intelligence, how to do it nicely. All details may not have been told, but we cannot use our intelligence like I use my intelligence, which program to miss. That is also use of intelligence. Our material mind, our material intelligence can cheat us. We should all understand subtle body, Sukshma Sharira, mind, intelligence, false ego, and Atma. It is today we have given power of attorney. We are not able to distinguish between our intelligence, our mind, and I. But there can be contaminated consciousness, there can be contaminated intelligence, there can be contaminated mind, which I think is my intelligence, which I think is my mind, but it can be my enemy. Mind, if it is controlled, is a best friend. The same mind, if it is uncontrolled, is a person. Likewise, it can be intelligence. Intelligence, if it is not sharpened with Krishna consciousness, if it is not spiritualized, that intelligence can be your biggest enemy. Sukshma Sharira has mind, intelligence, and ego. Just like mind, we all know mind, if it is controlled, is the best friend. The same mind can be worst enemy. Likewise, trained intelligence, spiritual intelligence, we can definitely use to enhance our Krishna consciousness. But contaminated intelligence, material intelligence, can pull us down. So when we talk about, yes, we should use our intelligence, we should use our mind, but if the intelligence is contaminated, then it will pull us down. So that way, a devotee is always humble. He always takes guidance. He seeks association. Any major decision, he checks. He does not full faith in his own intelligence and mind. Any major decision, he cross-checks. Oh, I'm thinking like that. I'm planning to do like that. Is it okay? Is my thinking right? And as I mentioned earlier, it is always safe to always have this understanding. No matter how sure you may be of anything, my understanding may be wrong. This can save you a lot. You see, we have this mind. Mind is nothing but there are a set of programs. Everyone has different programs. And there is an input, just like in a computer. You have a CPU, you have keyboard, you type in something and it processes and gives you some output. So everyone has different programs running. What are the programs made of? The programs are based out of your upbringing. Programs are based on what experiences you have got in your life. Suppose somebody has treated you very badly, then the programs, your understanding, your thinking is that the world is very mean. If a child is abused in his childhood, he will have a very different traumatic programs. Trauma, he has faced trauma. So this first 7 years upbringing is very crucial for a child because the programs are getting formed. Conscious mind is not active, subconscious mind is active. So all these programs are there. Everyone's input, the output is different. Even we can test, you slap 7 people, all 7 will treat differently. One end of the spectrum they will slap you back. Another person will murder you also. There will be another person, please slap on the other cheek. That's why all kinds of people are there. Action is the same, the reaction is different. Why? Programs are different. And when the reaction comes, we think the reaction is justified because of the input. Or we give the entire blame. He treated me like this, why I should not have it? We seldom question our programs. If the processor is the programs in the computer, it's infected by virus, the output will be bad. You will see some junk characters on the screen. The CPU is right, but the program is infected with virus. So our programs can also have viruses. It can be infected, material consciousness. So a devotee is always good. We can have our opinions, we can have our thinking. It's not that we are always very lucid. We can have our independent thinking, but back of the mind when we are in disagreement with some senior devotees who are more experienced, who are more nicely situated, if they are asking me to do something and my mind is rebelling, I am not able to follow, then we should not be too sure of our understanding. It's always good to have a humble state of thinking that my understanding may be wrong. Which is also fact. Our understanding is based on the programs we have right now, based on the experience I have right now. My experience can change, my programs can change, my understanding of life can change. So that's why I said spiritual life, it's good if we remain simple, remain humble, we are obedient, we follow what Prabhupada has told, then for sure we will advance spiritually and we will have right consciousness. Let's stop here. Bhagavatam.